All right, hey guys, thanks for checking back to Beyond the Mount, featuring our whitetail affliction season. Like we said in the last video, that was kind of a recap of all the deer that we saw, some action that we had where we didn't quite get the job done. And in this episode, we're going to feature most of the deer that we had opportunity to take. It was an exciting season, so definitely had some action. I kicked it all off early in October with the very first doe of the season over at Miss Jones's. That, like I said, that's just a little 10 or 12 acre piece. So shot that doe. I'm not sure. Here's where we found that we made some mistakes. I lost about 7 SD cards full of video. So not all of these kills will be on this video, but we're going to kind of talk about them. So I killed that doe, smoked her quartering away. She only ran maybe 30 yards and dropped. So that was a really good start to the season, kind of kicked everything off.
Got us pumped up for the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the first kill for Beyond the Mount as far as a deer go.
Yeah,
so that was awesome. And then about 2 weeks later, I'd say, you, me, and Joe went out to public land on Jordan, and we got up real early, and we're very glad that we did, because we ran into a couple tobaccos going back there.
It was a nightmare. We were walking in and we had planned to hunt way back on an island in a big cattail marsh, and we had our hip waders on, so we felt like we were prepared. It was about 2.5 hours before light, and it was the first really cold morning of the year.
It was cold.
It was low 30s, and I fell into a sinkhole and went neck or head deep in water. It was... Yeah,
the thing is that it was literally, obviously we're going there in the dark with the stands on our back, and as I mentioned before, you know, we got a lot more weight on our back, you know, and Cody just is right in front of us. I mean, it's just a bunch of weeds. I mean, and you got the marsh and everything's like running through there, this little river, not little, huge river. And there's just a bunch of, you know, overgrown stuff, and Cody goes straight down.
And,
over the waders.
Way over the waders. It was over the stand, and so Eric ended up actually walking me out, and there's just a little piece of bow only right across the street. So I sat in the car to warm up, and he ran in to hunt that little piece.
We dropped Joe off, and actually right before that, you split your eye open even going out, and right when that happened, we're about, I don't know, 100 yards from the truck. We heard a million coyotes just howling.
Coyotes going crazy. It was just an absolute nightmare of a morning. We'll see what pictures we have to show you guys of the busted eye and everything else.
All the carnage and everything. I mean, it was a great morning, but
sit back and enjoy this hunt real quick. Eric really got the job done. I do think I lost the SD card with the recovery and gutting it out and everything, but at least enjoy this hunt.
Hey guys, I'm to the spot. I'm hunting in between a marsh and a oak ridge to my left here. Got a 4-way trail crossroads really through here, so I can see for quite a good ways. It's a crisp, cool morning, so hopefully the deer will be on their feet. See you later. he's over here crashing around over here, so heck yeah. Got it right behind the shoulder. She should be going down any second now. Let's go.
Alright guys, we hope you enjoyed that hunt. So, segueing from Eric smoking that doe, I had a tough end of October. It was kind of a nightmare, so I was actually hunting behind my uncle's property and hunted there a lot just due to the fact that it was a quick, easy spot for me to go to after work. I know you guys saw an excessive amount of video over corn, just watching a ton of deer go by in the last video, but yeah. There were a couple different bucks I was really after back there, and I think it was the last weekend of October I was back there and had a really nice wide 8-pointer come in and drew back, let the arrow fly, and thought I'd smoked him. I mean, thought for sure he was smoked and gone. Backed out, reviewed the footage with my dad on the computer, and looked good. Shot looked good, and so we figured dead deer. We go back in that night after about 3 hours or so, track him for about 300 yards, 400 yards, and lose blood. And we're trying to figure out what in the world happened. So we back out, go home, pull it up on the TV, and watch it back again, and it ends up, the shot hit the shoulder blade. And I'm not sure if it was broadhead or just the arrows I was shooting, but I didn't have the force, and I only got about 3 to 4 inches of penetration in through his shoulder blade. And honestly, I was heartbroken. I mean, I'm looking at shooting a 70-pound bow with 340 grain arrows and 100 grain broadheads. You would think that would have the punch to go through, and I think it's just a testament. Deer are tough. I mean, they're tough animals. You know, things happen, especially in the world of hunting. That's why they call it hunting, not killing. So we went back the next day. No, we went back 2 more days and just body searched. I think I was tracking it on Onyx, and we walked over 7 miles in a 45 to 50 acre piece looking for that deer, and left the game camera out. I just backed out of that area completely for a while. And actually 10 days later, he showed back up, scar on his shoulder, but he actually survived that hit. And I mean, it really is a testament to how tough deer are, even in North Carolina, where they don't get quite as big as like the big Midwestern deer. I mean, to see that, actually saw him one more time from the blind, which you guys saw briefly in the last video. He came in, just never gave me an angle for a shot, but a real learning lesson. Shortly after that, I was really down. I think Eric can attest to that. So I went back to Miss Jones's and shot another doe. Didn't even bring the camera. I was just really down about my luck. That was a deer I'd really been excited about hunting and hopefully killing. So it was tough, but there's a little bit of video that you guys will have seen while I'm talking about him, but that's how deer hunting goes. So let's jump over to Eric, who's got a little more high life of luck for us.
And I mean, just to add to that, I mean, like you said, deer are super tough, you know what I mean? And especially bow hunting, I mean, you know, you gotta make the shot perfect. I mean, every time it's a game of inches, and any bow hunter that's been hunting, you know, long enough knows. I mean, we're only in our 20s, you know, haven't been hunting near as much as other guys, but I mean, just putting in, like you said, putting in the work to look for that deer, you know, going there 2 days, the deer earns, you know, for you to go in there and make sure that he's not, you know, dead somewhere in the creek. And
you owe it to yourself and to the deer for sure.
Definitely. So after Cody killed that doe, got one under the belt again, I went out to a spot about 30 minutes from my house, and it was November 9th, and I put out some corn actually, and I had action with a 4-pointer that came in at about, I don't know, about 5 o'clock, and then came right underneath my stand, so I passed him up. And then about 15 minutes later, I had a real nice 8-pointer come in, and we'll show you this footage right now.
Yep.
Hey guys, it is November 9th. I am back in the spot I was in 2 days ago. Didn't have any luck that night, but right at dark when I was down at my tree stand, all the way down to the bottom of my tree, I was packing up for the night, and I had I think a deer come in and try to figure out what I was, and stuck around for a while, so hopefully they'll come in a little earlier than they did the other night, and hopefully they'll be on their feet. It's about 50 degrees right now, the high, so altogether I would assume they would be moving today, so we'll see what happens. Keep you updated. I just double lunged that deer. I think he just crashed. He's still thrashing around over there, but yes. Oh man. Let's go. Man. That got my heart pumping. I'm gonna have to take a little bit to calm down here. Alright guys, well, recap here. I just had a 4-pointer come in, passed on him, came in about 5 yards, and then about 10 minutes later, a nice 8-pointer came by, and I think I smoked him, so he was thrashing around over there, so I'm gonna pack up my stuff and get down and see what kind of blood I got. I know the arrow's stuck in him, so we'll see what we can find. Alright guys, got this 8-pointer here. Came into the corner about 5:30. Had some doe estrus out there, and he gave me a perfect shot. Went about, I don't know, 50 yards about, and piled up. So good 8-pointer. We're gonna get it out and drag it out of here.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So now we've seen Eric get the job done. Very well done, Eric. Want to shoot over. Actually had one of the coolest opportunities hunting that I've ever had before this year. I was able to go video my youngest brother, Bradley. Took him back to the same blind where I've hunted so much this year, as you guys have seen and probably driven you guys crazy with. But was able to take him over there and video him, and he was actually able to shoot his first ever deer with a bow. He's killed several deer in his lifetime, but he's never been able to get the job done with the bow, so that was really exciting. The recovery, I will say, the recovery took place the next day. That deer had actually gotten out in the middle of a pond and was a mess. So I don't have the recovery on video, but we'll show pictures of the recovery. But enjoy the video, it was a lot of fun. It was very much high energy, and you can hear me trying to coach him through everything. He didn't need my help, but it was awesome to be in there with him and be able to go through it. It was a great experience. So let's go ahead and check that out. There you go. Cool. Beautiful. Right there, you're good.
Hey guys, just got home from college for a weekend. My first weekend I'll be able to hunt this year. In the blind with Cody. I'm hoping to get my first ever bow kill. So a little bit windy, but it's pretty cool. So it should be a good night. So here we go. It's a 6-pointer. You can shoot him if you want. Wait till he gets his head down. Go ahead. Very slow. Okay. You're good. Hold up. Wait. Wait. Go ahead. Did you hit him? You hit him way low. Yeah. You're good. Sit still, he might not go far. You hit him low and back. But he doesn't know what hit him, so he might go down. Yeah, he just laid down. Just sit still. Because if he doesn't get up, he's going to be dead right there. He's not going to die right away. I think you liver shot him. You're fine. You're fine. Good job, buddy. I'm just going to wait for everyone to come in. That's your first deer with a bow. And your first buck with a bow. Someone who lays up there and dies. That bow is still too low. You're fine. They don't know what happened. Daddy's going to check them out. She's going to come back to the climb. Is he still up? Is he still up or is he rolled over? Let's see. Just sit back and relax, okay? As long as that buck doesn't stand up, he's going to die right there.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed seeing that. So that kind of put us through the end of September. We're jumping into December now, and I took my final deer of the year, shot a, average little North Carolina 8-pointer. It was kind of a end of the season, need to get one more down. Been a frustrating year with spooking some big deer, not getting opportunities, and then having the one that got away. I actually took my youngest brother Bradley's 6.5 Creedmoor out. Sat on a big cut cornfield in the morning. Actually fell asleep during that morning. Woke up, that buck was out in the middle of the field about 220 yards away. Didn't even think about the camera. I actually brought it with me and didn't bring the attachment to put it on the tripod, so I had no idea what to even do with it. So I just tilted the gun up and went ahead and shot him. He didn't even run, just fell right there.
Dropped his tracks.
Made me so thankful for a rifle. After bow hunting, I'm trying to think of the number of blood trails I was on this year, helping people out, and then on my own, I was so ready to see a deer fall and not do any track work. So, obviously we're flashing a picture of him, but he was a pretty buck. He's been good. Me and Eric ate steaks from him and enjoyed that. So let's go ahead and segue over. Eric had quite the story on one that he killed.
Oh yeah, I think it was around December, early December. I don't remember the exact date, but I was getting in there pretty late. I just got back from the gym and I was just booking it in there, trying to get in a late hunt, and I was just walking in on this field edge and looking at these tracks, as you'll see in the video I took with my phone, and looking at the tracks in the mud. I look up and there's a buck, a 4-point or a 6-pointer coming right at me, and I'm like, what is this thing doing? Is it? I mean, I know it's it could be the secondary rut, you know. He's goofy, doesn't know what the heck's going on, and so I'm like, all right, I'm obviously not going to shoot this buck because you only get two buck tags in North Carolina, and I already filled one on that 8-pointer, and so I was like, all right, not going to shoot this buck, gonna let him pass, and after watching him for a little while, at literally 10 yards, with the stand on my back and everything, obviously not being able to get the camera out of my pack, but anyways, just watching him, and as you'll see in the video that I'll pop up here is he can like barely walk. He had a horrible limp, and I was like, all right, am I just gonna let this deer go and, you know, possibly suffer and, you know, just, so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna let this deer go. I mean, it'd be one thing if he was able to walk a little better, so I decided to let an arrow fly, and I fortunately double lunged him, actually hard shot him, and he went about 10 yards and piled up. And so yeah, we'll throw that video up there and show you the recovery, show you what I had on my phone, the footage of him walking in and me finally deciding to shoot him. So
that's one thing, you know, it's a tough call seeing a deer that you wouldn't ordinarily shoot, but it's tough to just let an animal suffer, especially out in the wild, you know, as conservationists, what we hope to be. It's one of those things where you don't want to see an animal suffer. So although a tough decision, probably the right decision in that situation. So happy we were able to get the job done.
Yeah, and actually one more.
Not we, you.
Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting it because he's coming right at me. And one major part I almost left out was there was 2 coyotes 5 yards away from him in the woods. Right whenever I shot him, the 2 coyotes took off the other way, and I knocked another arrow, pulled back on him, and right when I was about to shoot the coyote, he took off the other way. But yeah, almost got, I mean, like I said in the last video, always good to get a coyote out of there. Yeah. You know, decreasing the deer herd and all that, but I mean, it was just a crazy
situation. Yeah, absolutely. So let's check that out and catch you guys here in a second.
Alright guys, so an update here. I was walking in here on this field edge here with the stand on my back, and I look up about 10 yards in front of me and closing is a 6-pointer coming straight at me. And I, at first, obviously, with only 2 buck tags in North Carolina, was not going to shoot at first because I already shot an 8-pointer, and that's my last buck tag. But after watching this guy come in, he looked a little banged up, and he could like barely walk, so I decided to knock an arrow and let it fly about 4 yards. So he came about 4 yards, and I double lunged him, and he's down in that bottom there. Just sitting there, but right whenever I shot, actually, there was 2 coyotes about 5 yards away from him, just in the woods here to my left. I'll show you in a minute, and they took off the other way, and it actually stopped for me to get pull back on them, but right when I was about to release an arrow, it took off, so that's unfortunate. I couldn't get them, but
He got a 6-pointer down there. He looks relatively old, so I don't know exactly what his age is on him or what's going on with him, but he was beaten up, so I decided to put him out of his misery, and he's down at about 10-15 yards behind me. So I'll show you real quick what it looked like from my field of view. So I came up through there. It's not a little shaky. Came up through there, walked up here, looking at all these tracks right here. And I was walking, looking at all the tracks, looked up, and right about there is where he came from. And he was just coming right at me. And after watching him a little while, like I said, I could tell that he was banged up, and I took a shot at him and double lunged him. Still can't find my arrow, but that's the case it's been going for me this year, losing like 10,000 arrows. So nothing new there, but I'll show you the blood trail right here. About like right here is where I shot. I got it on my iPhone, just showing that before I knew he was banged up that I wasn't gonna shoot, but shot him about right here. Went in here. See some blood right there. Some more right there. So he had really good blood. I use wasp drone broadheads, fixed blades. I love them every time I shoot in the right place. I have great blood like that. Even though I didn't need to see the blood, I saw him drop. But, yep. There he is right there. Pretty good sized body for a 6-point. But it's pretty old to me. Hey guys, so got my 6-point here. Shot him about 7 yards from here up on that field edge behind me. And I obviously was not going to shoot him at first when I saw him, but after looking at him and seeing the way he was walking, I could tell that he was in some pretty bad pain, and decided to put him out of his misery. Even though that's the end of my season as far as bucks go, I feel that if there's something wrong with the deer, then might as well put him out of his misery. So that's what I did. But anyways. Looks like a pretty old deer for a 6-pointer. has a really good body on him, but yeah, I don't know if he was getting chased by those coyotes. Whenever I shot, coyotes took off the other way, so, but, yep, so, nonetheless, we got some venison, more venison in the freezer, and another buck walking in with the stand on my back, so, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna try to get this guy out, got it out before dark. See you later.
Alright guys, this last little clip of deer hunting that we're going to show you is actually my friend Joshua from South Carolina. He's in school down there, and he hunted pretty hard on public land this year and was able to get the job done on a nice 6-pointer, so that was pretty exciting. It was crazy actually how he videoed this deer. He videoed it with his cell phone while holding his bow, so in his hold hand he was also holding his phone. I really have no idea how he pulled it off, but
yeah, that's crazy.
Footage turned out alright, so we're going to put it in there as well as a picture, but it was exciting to have him taking some video and sending it our way, so like I said, it was pretty cool.
Oh, definitely.
I'll never understand how he pulled it off and was able to put a perfect shot on this deer. It only ran about 80 yards. So.
I mean, yeah, it's hard enough, you know, having a camera on the tree and, you know, tilting it there, but when you have a phone in your hand trying to balance it, I mean, the footage you got was...
Yeah, risky play, but it worked out well, so we're going to throw that in there and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. I know that was quite the video effort. So thank you guys for watching everything so far. We know this has been a really long video. Not exactly our intentions coming into the season to let everything pile up like this. Kind of just down to our situations. It was a very chaotic non-hunting hunting season, just with everything else going on in our lives. But just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what we got coming up. So we're probably going to try and get some deer hunting, I wish. Some deer scouting in the near future, just a couple weekends, maybe run out and scout some different places, wind down, clean up our stuff from the season. I know it's middle of February and I still have stuff strewn everywhere. So try and consolidate all that, get cleaned up, and then what do you think, Eric?
Oh yeah, definitely. definitely get some deer scouting in, see if there's any late season sign out there. Maybe find some new spots for next year. And what is it? Late March, turkey season will start up.
Second weekend of April. First weekend is youth season. So
gotcha. So turkey season will be coming along. Got the expert Cody over here.
Not the expert, but man, I get excited about turkeys. That's
compared to me, you're an expert.
I love turkey hunting, so we're gonna be bringing you guys some footage of that. I'm fired up. I've already busted out the calls and started practicing. So it's gonna be an exciting season. I've already actually been out driving, looking at fields. Saw like 80 in the field the other day, and I think I did 6 or 7 laps back and forth trying to take pictures of them. It was pouring rain. It was a mess, but I'm excited. I'm ready to start hearing some gobbles in the morning, so looking forward to bringing you guys some of that footage. We're going to try and draw another public land tag this year and see if we can't do that together, so it's going to be exciting. So stay tuned. We think our lives have settled down enough to where we're going to be able to get out videos more consistently and be able to keep you guys up to date on what all we got going on. So stay tuned in. Follow us on Instagram at Beyond the Mount. Is it just Beyond the Mount?
Yeah, just Beyond the Mount.
Okay, just Beyond the Mount. Yep. And should have some fire content coming through that. I know our social media presence isn't great. Neither of us love it in general, but we're gonna try and really gear that up this year and try and really improve. So let us know what you guys think. Hit us with a subscription or subscribe to our channel, like it, and hopefully we'll be able to gear it up and really improve our play. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, I just wrapped up my morning. I'm about to get out of here. I actually just shot a coyote. So it's legal to bait in North Carolina, so we've got a corn pile out here. It's a really small area and we like to have the deer right in tight so we can make good clean shots. And the coyote likes to come in and pee on the corn pile to scare the deer off. And he normally does it at night, so I don't know why he came in here this morning, but he picked the wrong morning to do so and I went ahead and shot him. Sorry I didn't get that on camera. It was kind of a spur of the moment. I was actually watching the Manchester City and Aston Villa game because I'd already spooked the biggest buck back here, so I'm gonna go get the coyote now, dispose of him, and get out of here so I don't mess the area up anymore. Be checking back with y'all here soon. I'll show you recovering the coyote and take a picture of him, I guess. See you guys. Alright guys, he smells absolutely terrible, so I'm gonna go ahead and get him pulled out of here and dispose of him and head on out.